I can't be on a leash.
Absolutely.
I can't be leashed up, Alex. Let me fly.
I'm a wild animal. I'm a peacock captain. You gotta let me fly.
Really?
You don't know that?
No.
The other guys?
The other guys. I have seen that like once or twice in passing. Alex, we're not starting this episode with movies.
You're right. We're starting it off with our bare feet.
Oh my God, those feet are disgusting.
They are, but it's a new year and it's new feet. New me. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, Sarah.
Oh my God. You guys. Alex's feet are so disgusting. Alex, your feet are changing my opinion of you. Keep those on the floor, please. I will not. Oh my God.
I've got what you would call monkey toes. They can grab things. Watch.
Alex, not only can they grab things, but you would be mistaken for a chimpanzee if someone just saw your feet. That's wild.
Usually we'd save that for the bonus, but this is for all you guys out there.
Oh no. Oh no. I hope you don't choose a close-up shot for that. Welcome to 2025 and episode 145.
Yes.
So they both end in 5.
Ooh.
So this is going to be our magic episode.
Absolutely.
Filled with surprises, fun, joy. That's it. That's it. Just surprises, fun, and joy.
And just the two of us, because Kate is not here.
Yeah, you guys, we're playing to an empty room.
It's a little scary, honestly.
It kind of feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're like lonely here.
Like no one's watching us. Why are we even here?
We're just a boat, a sail in the ocean, adrift in the ocean.
And Alex has all the cameras and everything turned towards us. So it literally feels like kind of like we're in this apocalyptic future. Mm-hmm. No one's in the world besides us. No one could be here. So we're just like shooting out blasts and like hoping people have their radios working and their
Yes.
And we're like, oh, come to Los Angeles. There's people alive.
That's exactly
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. We never are able to see ourselves or see the audio when we're recording.
Yeah.
So we're seeing all of that now, and it's like a call for help.
It's kind of just weird and daunting.
Yeah.
I don't know. So like, hopefully we can make the room laugh today.
Yes,
or make each other laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh, God.
I know.
To start off the new year, kids in this new year are being born, and they're being called Generation Beta.
And, I feel sad for so many, I always feel sad for future generations. You guys know I'm fucking bleak out there, man. And now they have to grow up and be like, yeah, what part of your generation? I'm beta. Like everyone, no one likes that word.
No.
No one feels confident with the word beta.
Right after Generation Alpha, too.
Could you imagine? Thank God my baby was born in Alpha.
Oh, my God.
I have to wait. What? How many years do I have to wait to have my next
14.
baby?
I'm not having a kid till 2040.
Okay. So how old am I going to be? Like 50?
Yeah.
I have to wait till I'm 50 to have another kid?
Yeah, you're adopting, it sounds like.
Jeez. And I asked Alex too, like who and what are coming? Who's making these words up?
Yeah, I don't know.
We can't even have someone Google it.
Oh my God. Oh, we gotta set a timer.
Oh my God, we have to. Yeah, we're just gonna be roaming free.
This could be a 3-hour episode if we're not safe.
I know, Jesus.
Who does? Should I Google it? No,
don't.
Let's just think about it. Who do we think? Who do we think is in charge of that?
Do you think there's a whole team
of like time professionals?
If there's a time professional and I'm not a part of that group, that's fucked up.
You should not be a part of that group.
No, because I would make everyone think.
Oh, that's true.
Someone in the comments the other day said Sarah's really smart, and I was like, about what?
That's.
I was like, can you clarify? Because point me in the right direction.
Because I think so, but I just need you to tell me about what.
Which can you generally just like put words to like what I was saying and like let me know where I was kind of insightful in that kind of conversation? Because I agree. I'm with you. I am super intelligent, but I just need you to clarify.
Yeah,
so if you're listening,
we all are.
Please clarify.
We all agree.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. You should be on the time team because every team needs a contrarian. Every team needs to be like fact checking. Like, I don't know about that.
No. Yeah, everyone just needs someone to like argue with the room.
Yeah.
Like I'd be good on a jury. Because I'd be like, no, didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I would be the one in the room calling it out.
That's fair.
Anyways, so sorry for everyone born in Generation Beta.
Yeah.
Maybe we can turn this word around. Like, is there a way we can
take back
beta and make it our own?
I don't think so.
No.
I think they just drew a shit lottery.
So what does it go? Millennial, Gen Z,
Alpha,
Beta.
I think so, yeah.
Dude, what's C though? What's after beta?
I don't know. Alpha, beta, gamma. So gamma would be like they'd all turn into the Incredible Hulk.
I guess I definitely would rather be a gamma than a beta. I don't know. I just feel like let's do this generation right. Like they're all gonna be labeled as beta. I don't know. It just kind of sucks. It's like say you're a hurricane and you roll in and they call you fucking Phil. Like Hurricane Phil.
Oh yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? You worked yourself in a tizzy to be a huge ass fucking hurricane and they call you Phil? Come on. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Literally, all these beta kids were born into the world and they're like, damn, I did all this work. I came out the canal and you're going to call me beta? I'd just be pissed.
I'm just still laughing at the idea of you humanizing a tornado or a hurricane.
You know, I always want to look more into how they come up with those names. I'm sure there's a list.
But it's the same thing with beta. Who's making this list?
I don't know.
Who's naming everybody? Why don't we get a say?
I don't know. Should there be like a... What's that site? I've been out of the work games. Oh, LinkedIn. I feel like people, you should go to LinkedIn and be like, how can I be in the job rooms to help name shit? I want to name shit. Not even with my own name. I don't have that kind of ego.
Right. No.
I want to help.
Yeah.
I want to contribute to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's right. That's all we're going to say about that. Alex, and you didn't do your normal, we're starting the episode with what we're talking about.
My apologies. We're talking about Generation Beta, Squid Games, football, fantasy football. I lost my fantasy football championship.
Nobody cares.
You're going to care when I give context.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I lost out on $4,000.
Context given. Very upset now.
Sleeping through New Year's Eve, Sarah. First class curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, on planes?
Yeah.
Meghan Markle. I've not heard anything about her recently.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, get ready, baby.
Older generation, no big moments.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Twilight and cue the music. And I like that you put cue.
I knew you would. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go do a little flair because it'll hopefully make you giggle.
Absolutely.
You know?
It
did. Okay, good.
It did.
Okay, let's talk about Squid Games really quick because I just started and I'm only on episode 1, guys. So I know everyone's probably binged and finished the whole fucking thing.
Have you seen season 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I haven't even started season 2.
Okay. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. First, I find the concept of something being like, okay, so obviously Squid Games is an international show. Generally we're all watching with subtitles. We're watching it dubbed, right?
Right.
I find it super fascinating to see kind of like what shows break through into like the United States culture being not in our language, right? Because you always kind of hear like people saying like, oh, I watched American shows growing up. That's kind of how I learned English, or that's how I learned how to speak without an accent. So like, I feel like, us being the U.S. giant, like we're pushing our shit on everyone else, right? Yeah. And like to see kind of like what comes to us, like what like we take on as well. I always find super fascinating. I think it was Parasite when Parasite won. Did you you saw Parasite? I'm sure. Fucking great ass movie. When Parasite won, I think it was. Did they win the whole thing? Did they?
Yeah, they won Best Picture.
I was gonna say Movie of the Year
at the VMAs.
I think it was the director had said like the quote kind of stuck with me. I think it was something along the lines of like if Americans just learn to like read a little bit, then think about all the movies that would be open to you. Kind of like we're so not small-minded, but like we don't really take on international movies in the way that maybe other cultures do.
Absolutely. We don't put ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, like we're not introduced to, and I'm sure I could find a way, but we're not introduced to all the cinema from different countries, because we're like, subtitles, we're not going to read this movie. That's probably an Alex thing. You hate reading.
I hate reading, but but the director was right. He said something like, if you can look past
like the bottom
6-inch subtitles or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Squid Games, I watched the first episode and something happened in the first episode that's like such a thing that always gets stuck in my head. And I'm not going to give anything away for you to talk about this, but there's a game of Russian roulette.
Oh.
And Russian roulette to me is like my Mount Everest of things. It's my Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I think about Russian roulette too often. I think as a normal human being existing in the world, like no one really needs to think about Russian roulette. But like I'm thinking like, does this really I think about it. I think about it.
About as if people actually do it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that like I don't know. I just can't imagine people really doing that other than movies. I mean, maybe you're a crazy gambler or something like that, but that's gambling with literally your life. Like, so I don't really. If you
but
don't
like
know,
maybe in war, like I'm thinking like as a torture,
like,
as a way to torture prisoners. Generally that's what I was thinking.
Is it what war movie is that in? Is it in Platoon?
I think it's in the Vietnam one with
Apocalypse Now.
Not Apocalypse Now.
I think it's Platoon.
It's Deer Hunter.
Is it Deer Hunter?
I'm pretty sure it's Deer Hunter.
You're right. It is because it's
It's yes, I know, but I don't.
He's got such a unique way of talking. He's in Dune. Oh my, Christopher Walken. Yeah, Chris Walken. He does that. He does that there. Yeah.
There's so that's there's Russian roulette in that, and I just think again maybe it's Hollywoodized, Americanized, Hollywood movieized.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is like maybe it doesn't exist in the world, and maybe my only concept of it is in movies, but like I find this to be so fucking crazy. And like I was watching it in the scene and like I was so physically uncomfortable. Like I couldn't I was watching the show like this. I was looking at Corbin. I was like, tell me what happens. Like I feel like I'm having like an out of body experience like seeing this play out. Like I don't even know. I don't even know if I have any kind of articulate words to say besides the fact that holy shit, that would be like, that to me is like I'm swimming with a great white shark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's nothing worse that could be happening than I'm accidentally in a game of Russian roulette.
Yeah. I think
I have stumbled upon a game that I don't want to play.
Yeah, I think a lot has to happen before you stumble on a game like that.
I hope so. I hope I can't just accidentally join a game of Russian roulette.
Yeah, you go to Vegas, you think you're sitting down for blackjack.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
And it's actually Russian roulette.
Can I bow out, guys? I don't think I want to.
You sat at the table. You gotta play one round.
No, like I don't think there's. No, obviously I'm not willing to gamble my life on anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And gambling's such an interesting topic too. Just the thought of like, being addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
Because obviously that show Squid Games is kind of about that. Like, obviously they're all gambling with their life to get out of potentially gambling debt. I don't know. It's quite interesting.
Well, one question I have about that is like in the first one, it was a surprise to like everybody there.
Right.
When the first person was killed.
Right.
Was it that again this time?
So I'm only one episode deep, and I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Okay, don't.
But I don't know what the context is with the games this season.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it like a regular person and not binge.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, let's bring it to football really quick.
Yeah, football.
Because there's a couple things I want to talk about.
Please.
Okay. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
The Ohio State shockingly beat the number one team, Oregon.
Out.
But can we just say how unfun that was?
Yeah.
Zero fun had.
I was having no fun.
Were you? Okay, because I always wonder, like, if you're a fan, are you like, oh, cool, we beat them by 40 points?
I actually stopped paying attention though.
Yeah, like, who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Like, that was supposed to be the highlight of my day.
You know what's actually controversial? I didn't even watch.
I just threw down my microphone. Sick bastard. Why didn't you watch it?
Because I went to a movie instead.
Did you go to see Interstellar?
No, I went to see Megalopolis. And
did you like it?
I did because I liked it the first time because I thought it was funny. This time I actually liked it a lot more.
Wait, hold on. This was you missed the Ohio State game.
Playoff game. It was at the Rose Bowl.
Playoff game. That was literally in your backyard.
My girlfriend and I were supposed to go to it. But then there was the opportunity to go see Megalopolis, and Francis Ford Coppola was going to be there to do a discussion. So I went because he's like 85.
So how was this discussion?
It was really cool.
Okay,
it was really cool. It was like 2 hours just sitting there listening to him talk in a room full of like 200 people. It was really cool.
Well, I guess it wasn't an important game for you to miss.
Yeah,
I guess
I knew they were gonna win.
Okay, doubtful.
I saw
it was very no one had them back to it. You lost to Michigan. Okay. Okay, this is a side note, but my main point with football, which I've been noticing, which has been hilarious, and I kind of see it a little bit more in professional than in college, but it's fucking cracking me up, and so I want everyone to notice this too when you start watching. A football play is about to start. Someone's about to motherfucking hike the ball, okay? Whistles are blown, flags are thrown, okay? Now, all of a sudden, like 25 men on the field start pointing to somebody else. It's him. I don't know why that it just hit me like while I was watching over Christmas. I just like could not stop laughing. The idea of being like, hey, sir, he did it. And then you find like, they're like, oh, it was this guy. And he's like, has 2 hands out.
Yeah.
It was like Michael Scott in that one scene. Like,
yeah.
It's so fucking funny to just imagine grown ass men pointing like him, sir, did you see? He moved his finger. It was him. It's so funny and so hilarious, but I don't know if I'm just not noticing it as much in college.
I feel like I do see it in professional a little bit more.
It's way more in professional.
Yeah, you know what?
Because in college, there was a lot of false starts when we watched the playoff last week.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any of the guys going like this.
Yeah.
They're all just like, yeah, it was fucking me.
You're right.
I false started.
You're right. I do see that more often in professional.
It's just, you think, and they're much older, late 20s, early 30s. You'd think they'd be professionals. They're grown adult men.
No, I didn't do it. It was him. No, it wasn't my fault.
Literally. And you're like taught as a little kid, like, don't point.
Yeah.
And like literally everyone on the team, everyone. It's not just one guy pointing. It's everyone on both sides of the line.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
It really is.
Anyways, guys, do yourself a favor and watch these elder men point at each other when they make a false start or they make a neutral zone infraction.
They throw a fit.
Yeah, they start pointing like it's gonna do anything. There's like 9,000 cameras on them. They're like, we saw who did it.
I've always thought it's weird to complain to refs.
I agree too. Soccer also, like, obviously men's soccer is so different than women's soccer. Like women, let's just put it out there. We just take it. You know, we're not pointing as much and we're not going down.
It's very true. Women's soccer is much rougher than men's soccer in the way that like women will take a hit and
we're just
like,
I guess we're going.
I was on a TikTok trend of a while where it was like girl soccer players like talking about being kind of like the enforcer on their team.
Yeah.
And they're beating the shit out of these girls. Like they're pulling them by their ponytail.
Oh, ponytail.
Throwing elbows.
Oh, the elbow throws.
It's crazy.
You'll take one to the chest.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Yeah, you see a lot of men's soccer is like, the fake balls.
Flopping.
The
yeah. My sister,
we don't do that shit.
My older sister was a bit of an enforcer on her soccer team.
Yeah.
And she would clear girls out.
Oh my
It
God.
was wild.
I'm in pain just thinking about this.
Yeah.
So, pointing,
complaining, whining.
You lost your 4,000K by how many points?
10 points. And I wanted to start somebody else that I would have won if I'd started him.
Doesn't that hindsight is 2025?
Hindsight is 2025. And it's
no one gets that joke right now besides us.
We were gonna name the previous episode Hindsight is 2025.
We're like over here.
we thought it was like so genius, and then we realized nobody's gonna.
Like no one. You ever think something's really funny, and then you're like, oh, maybe that's just me.
A lot of times that happens with us.
Well, that happens a lot with you.
That's true.
Generally, I'm like, wait, I think the group will laugh.
Yeah. A lot of times I do ones just for me. But yeah,
like your feet.
Oh,
right
God,
here,
yeah,
right now.
This one's for me. If anybody's liking this, send a like, send a comment if you're liking my toes.
Comment below.
Comment with your toes, too. Type it out with your toes. So I lost $4,000. I didn't lose $4,000. I lost out on the chance of $4,000 because I lost my fantasy football league. And it was honestly really depressing.
Yeah, guys, I shouldn't say guys. I know I had an all girls league one time. Yeah. Fantasy football is really fun, and you take a real fucking hit when you get so close and lose, especially when the fucking pot is $4K.
And it's never been this much. Every year previous to this, we've done I think $100 buy-in. This year was $500.
$500.
Yeah, so I won my money back, which was good.
Okay, that makes you feel better.
Yeah,
you're like I did this for a reason.
Yeah, I got it back, but
and also it feels like free money.
Yeah. Even though it's my money.
Yeah. You're like, I'm $500 richer.
Yeah.
Girl math.
But it is. This is the girl math that you and Lena were talking about. You send
return
something back.
Yeah.
You give them the money back.
I'm rich.
Yeah. But I felt so lame. I was really counting on that $4,000 to spend on stupid stuff.
Oh my God. Well, at least now you're not spending on stupid stuff.
But it would have been fun to spend it on stupid stuff.
You're supposed to save it.
No.
For your kids.
My kids are going to be born in Generation Beta.
I know.
They're going to need to learn how to make money on their
skills.
own. Yeah. It's not going to work out for them.
Okay, last thing about football and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. Maybe you wouldn't even notice because you didn't watch that amazing game between Arizona State and Texas.
Oh, no.
That was fucking killer.
Yeah. But now Texas is playing Ohio State. You guys are
going to kill
That's
Texas.
an inter-house rivalry. My little sister.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be fun.
So I noticed something that I thought was pretty funny when they started the overtime. So the two teams, the captains walked out and the refs were talking to them. And I thought they did something quite funny. And I didn't know who they did it for, but the refs explained the rules to the players.
No, it's important. It's important because 1 year...
I'm like, yo, I've been playing this game since I was 9.
No, they keep changing the rules.
But you don't think that they didn't fucking know the rules going into this game?
No, because there was some important game, like it was either professional or college in the past year or two, where the coach admitted to not knowing the rules.
That's strange to me.
It's insane.
I don't go into a game thinking I can play with my hands.
No.
So shouldn't they go into the game knowing the rules? It seems a bit silly, and maybe people are yelling at me here, okay? So, but I just think if I'm going to play pickleball, I understand before I step on the court.
You're absolutely right.
Especially if I'm going into overtime.
You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more.
Oh, you can't? Oh, wow. Okay. We didn't see this coming.
But clearly, I wish we had...
Like, when you were playing soccer, you wish we had Kate. Hey, Kate, what do you think about this?
Yeah. Chime in. What game was it? There was a game, I know, where they lost in the overtime rules because they didn't know.
But that to me is like literally the most insane concept in the world.
Right.
There was never, I did not need to be explained my own game's rules. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, especially if you just think about it in the concept of like in the NFL, they changed the kickoff rule.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta fucking know before you go in because that affects you. But the refs aren't out there like, hey, you guys, this is how we're gonna kick. Okay. Reminder. You're gonna have to stand here. You gotta wait till he gets the ball.
But.
What?
Not to play.
Devil's advocate. Devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate.
Hopefully nobody heard that.
Penalty shootout for soccer.
Yeah.
What does the ref do every time? Goalie. You're gonna wait. You're gonna stay on the line until he makes contact with the ball, and that's when you get to dive.
Okay.
You gotta keep one.
I feel like maybe that's a little bit different because he's not explaining the rules to the captains. Like, he's walking kind of back with the goalie, like, hey, you got to stay in the line. It's more not like, to me, that's not even explaining of the rule. It's more of just like, I'm gonna call you out on this if you step up.
Okay.
Like, it's not necessarily like they're flipping coins. Who's gonna kick first?
Right.
Like,
right.
Remind your players if the ball doesn't go in the net, that's not a goal.
Yeah.
You know, we can't let them kick again.
Yeah.
You know, it seems more like that's more of like a chit chat with the ref
For sure.
than more of like, explaining of the rules. I get what you're saying, and I love you trying to battle me, but like, I'm gonna win here.
That's fair. No, and the battle was one that I didn't fight that hard for because I didn't believe in it that much. It wasn't in my soul.
Thank you. I love that rule. I love that rule though.
Yeah.
That goalies have to stand in line.
That was lame to me, honestly.
You can't jump up. You can't block more of the goal.
I can't jump up, but guess what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna jump ahead in our thing.
Okay, go ahead. Where are you gonna go to?
Twilight.
Shit, you want to talk about? Is it Twilight RP?
It's RP.
Rob Pats.
Oh no, I wish.
Okay, well, I don't want to talk Twilight if we're not talking K-Stu or Pats.
It is about K-Stu and Taylor
Swift. Oh my God, go ahead.
No, Lautner.
Oh, okay.
So I met my good family friend. One might say family. That's how close we are.
Okay,
family friends. Daughter.
Do you share blood?
No.
Okay, well.
No. Blood daughter though. That's their daughter.
Okay, their blood daughter.
Yes.
Got it.
And I don't know what it is about babies. I think it's something with like my brain wavelength, but babies seem to like me a lot. Like
you have a baby essence to you.
I do.
You could be an adult baby.
I'm immature.
No, not even on that level. No? You kind of just are like, you're mushy.
Okay.
You're mushy with the babies. Yeah. I could see it.
I am mushy with the babies. Yeah. But they always take a liking to me for some reason. Like their eyes follow me around the room. They smile when I do things.
They're trying to get your attention.
Yeah. They just seem to be. There's something about my brain that our brains link up.
Okay.
And my family friends, this happened to her daughter as well. And my mom decided that this was an appropriate time to summarize the plot of Twilight. And not just the plot,
why?
But the character relationship between
K-Stu and
K-Stu and Robert Pattinson's child and Taylor Lautner.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Why did your mom think that was the appropriate time?
Because she's like,
she thought you guys were
imprint on each other? Oh, like maybe they're meant to be together. This is an infant. This is a
your mom's trying to set you up
child.
Already.
I have a girlfriend who my mom likes very much. But she keeps making this joke over the weekend, nonstop. Oh, her boyfriend's here. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, shut up. This is gross.
You're like, it only works in the book, Mom.
Yeah.
And it barely works
it barely
there.
flew there. It still raised some flags. Watch, I never read the book. I saw the movie, clearly. But
obviously.
But I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then so everybody's playing along on this joke, and I'm like, I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun. This is not funny. This is weird.
Thank God your girlfriend wasn't there.
Yes.
She'd have been so jealous.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I told her about it, and she was like,
she
that's
did.
hilarious, but also weird.
Did you tell your mom? You're like,
yes, I was
okay.
I kept bringing it, like whenever she bring it up, I was like, you have a disease. This is not funny.
Yeah.
It came out like almost like offhandedly because she said it so many times where like I like snapped. I was like, you have a disease. This isn't funny. like we're all eating dinner.
That's how people must feel about you.
Yeah. No, they
so
do. They
this
do.
is maybe where you're getting it from.
It's really tough because I look at my mom and I
you're
look
like,
at my
oh,
dad
that's me.
sometimes, and I'm like, God damn, I'm so much like them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and like I play it up as if I'm like this like super unique individual
No.
that like nobody has ever influenced me.
I
Blah
know.
blah.
Okay, any hooser, I had something interesting to say because we're both backseat bitches. In regards to that, I mean, like, we're not sitting first class.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, like, we don't go there,
No.
right? Okay. I can't imagine.
Although I will say,
I would love
I got
to.
upgraded.
To first class?
Yes, I was flying on my
Wow.
mommy's miles with mommy.
Oh, your mommy's miles. Okay, I was
And-
like, how the fuck did you get up? Bitch?
Yeah. They were like, Alex Tomko, can you come up to the front desk? You have an upgrade. And they saw me like, never mind.
Do you have braces,
They're
bitch?
like,
You're getting
yeah. We'll put you in the cargo
yeah,
hold, pal.
seriously.
Yeah.
You're under the plane.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sitting in the back,
Yes.
but I'm sitting front row back. So I'm
Okay.
feeling fucking classy as shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm almost rich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have that kind of space. I got that leg room area,
Yeah,
you know?
yes,
So
yeah.
I'm there. Anyways, we get on this plane, we're flying home, and like we get in the air. All of a sudden the flight attendant comes up and she just closes that curtain between first and last place.
She put you in your place.
She put me in my place hard. But let me tell you, the curtain was see-through. So I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, so they want to give the first class people some privacy. I see. But they're going to make it see-through. So they're going to make us want to see what they're up to. So maybe then we could get rich enough to eventually sit there ourselves. So they want to give us a taste of that VIP life, but not enough. Like they just want like us to kind of see through. And I'm thinking like, why do they do that? Like, why do they put a see-through curtain
No,
there?
I think you just explained it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's actually.
I did see the food they got, and I was shockingly like interested.
Yes.
I was like, okay, wait. I didn't know you were getting that.
No, you're right. I had not thought of that why before, but you're right. It's definitely just so you can see like an obscured view of. Oh my God.
What are they doing?
Is that a champagne glass?
Are they clinking? Are they all clinking? Do they know each other?
Are they
up
having
there?
a Thanksgiving meal?
Oh my God!
They're celebrating.
Turkey?
They're celebrating New Year's up there.
Is that fresh orange juice?
Squeezed?
Mine's in a can. Fuck!
Are they stamping on grapes in the front, making fresh squeezed wine?
Damn it!
Oh,
I
they're
know.
having a cracker here.
But like, come on, man! Like, why do they have to put a curtain there?
I think you're right. I think it is just so you can get a piece
Just like
of the good life.
But like, let me see all the way.
Yeah.
Let me see all the way.
Speaking of flight stuff,
Yeah.
for a note for the bonus, remind me in-flight snacks.
In-flight snacks.
Very important.
I was walking. This is another fucking curtain issue. I was walking up and down the aisles with Little Way, and I walked to the back of the plane, and like I kind of like walked into like where the flight attendants are. And listen, I can do what I want with the flight attendants, you guys. I'm the daughter of a flight attendant, okay? So I have first class privileges to hang out with the flight attendants if I want, okay? Because I was born into this group of people.
I could see you just like trying to make like small talk
Yeah,
with
like
the flight attendants.
yo, I'm part of this.
Just walking up like, you're gonna make the announcement soon.
Yeah. Who's gonna do it? You might
gonna
want to jump on the mic.
Yeah. I know a thing or two about the announcements. What's our ETA? What are you thinking?
I know.
Smooth flight, little turbulence.
I know. I'll tell everyone
I got
to take
this.
their
I got this. You try to take the
phone.
phone. They're like,
Yeah.
ma'am, you need to take a
The
seat.
seat.
Please take a seat.
So I like to, be with the flight attendants.
Right.
Anyway, so I walk into the back, and I've done this a lot because it's not like I didn't.
Wait, you walk into their space?
Yeah. Like, it's not like I didn't know it was private and personal space. Like, a lot of the times I would have to stand up on flights with Way because she like wouldn't want to sit down anymore. So like I kind of go back there, do my squats. She's sweating, I'm sweating. Like with the baby, like I don't have the luxury of sitting down for 5 hours. That's not a fucking option.
Of course.
So I'm walking the plane.
Right.
And anyways, I walk back there and I take a step forward to come kind of more in the bathroom area.
Right.
All of a sudden, this flight attendant fucking curtains my ass. Same flight. I got curtained in the front. I got curtained in the back.
Know your fucking place.
Dude, seriously. I was like, what? I'm only allowed in this motherfucking section?
Yep.
This tiny ass nook?
Yep.
I want the whole plane.
Yep. Not for you.
I don't know. I felt very kind of like shut out. I couldn't go pee in the front lounge, apparently.
Yeah.
And I couldn't step in their back privacy area. And I just was like...
And when I made a move for the
cockpit, it really took me out.
They pointed guns at me.
I know. Yeah. See, maybe I just like it. I like... Maybe I feel very entitled to go where like, maybe this is a me problem.
No.
Maybe that's like, I feel like I very much grew up on planes and I have a lot of like comfortability.
Yeah.
Comfortability, that's not a fucking word.
It is.
In the airport. Like I'm very comfortable there.
I actually am very
maybe
comfortable
too comfortable.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, this is my space,
Yeah.
I'm like, share.
You know, honestly, this might be like a hot take. I enjoy flying.
Me too.
Other than like when it's like on my last flight, like I was near the exit door,
Yeah.
and my feet were freezing.
Oh, that's weird.
Freezing.
Do you think they let it open a crack and you were just getting some breeze?
I think I was thinking it up a little bit, so they just cracked the window open a little bit.
Yeah.
And my toes were like cold.
Wow.
And like the little old ladies that I was sitting next to, they were cold.
They're probably
also.
freezing.
They were very cold. It was really funny. The captain. I was sitting in the same spot where you were, where it's like right
right
there,
by first class.
and like these little old ladies, and this silver fox captain like walks. So he's like,
oh wow.
He like points to like the flight attendants, and he points to the ladies. He goes, "Hey, you keep an eye out for these two troublemakers, huh?" And he throws them a wink,
Wow.
and like these ladies like blushing, and I'm like,
Oh
"Oh
my
my god!" Like elderly,
Captains are like celebs.
elderly flirting here.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
so cute.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
yeah.
I do also find airports and airplanes and just travel in general like one of my like favorite experiences because I'm such an observer. I love fucking people watching.
Yes.
I'm so aware of like what's happening around me because it's like those are all the people that you don't know, right? So obviously all my ears are just pricked just listening to conversations, like watching people. I just find it so much fun.
Yeah, and one of your when your paths gonna cross paths.
Exactly.
When are you gonna cross paths again?
Totally. Yeah. I understood exactly where you're going. Yeah, it's just so much fun. But anyways, I felt like very blocked out on my flights. Like,
understandably.
Like no one wanted to hang out with me.
Understandably.
And, you know, it's like very strange. And also too, now that I'm with a baby, like I'm not on my like devices as much. So I'm much more looking for human interaction, whereas humans are not looking to interact with me.
Humans are not looking to interact, period.
Yeah, you're right. Let's talk about something else. Okay, Alex? I had this thought kind of like wash over me the other day when I was like listening to other people's conversations because that's what I do. And so if you see me out in the world, I'm probably listening to you. I felt like we were talking about perspective and when we look back on a year and like when you look back on your like when you see like young Alex or whatever and like he's going through a problem, sometimes I feel like adults have this condescending or kind of like flippant manner about young people and how like their problems aren't real problems.
For sure.
And like that their first love doesn't matter. And like that heartbreak is like, oh, you'll see things differently in a few years. And I just felt like I never want to have such a... Because I know hindsight's important and like I understand like you can have such different perspective at different ages, but I just don't want to be like I never want to feel like flippant about younger people's experiences.
Yeah.
And like I think that comes from, you know, kind of when you explain a problem you have and you're like, well, it's like, you know how people like would be like, oh, rich people problems or like first world problems.
Yeah.
You know, like it kind of like when you say you're going through something, it's always based on your own experiences. And I just find it like really interesting sometimes how people disregard like your high school love or like, or your first heartbreak or like something that's like very prominent in your life that's happening now and really upsetting. And like, I feel like sometimes adults are very much like,
get over it.
Or it doesn't matter.
Like
this won't matter to you in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it really fucking hurts right now. So why is that? Why do you think that that's going to help me right now?
And like also like isn't that someone's life experience?
Yeah.
Like aren't you supposed to feel the right things at the right time? Like aren't you supposed to be upset over your first love? Like isn't that a big deal? Like I'm not 50, bitch.
Yeah.
Like I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
This matters in my life right now.
Absolutely. I have a mutual friend who I'm not very close with, but I'm aware of what they're going through. And I've been trying to prod the friend between us to try to like push him in the right direction because he's going through his first heartbreak.
Yeah.
And like he's doing like everything wrong.
Oh no.
Like, you know what I mean? Like just constantly talking to her.
Oh,
like,
no.
like constantly checking in, constantly doing this stuff, getting too drunk, like all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like worrying, sad behavior that you want to make sure the person is supported through. But this mutual friend is more just like, oh, like it's just frustrating. Like our friend in between is like, oh, it's just frustrating because like they should know better, blah, blah. It's like, but this is the first time they're going through this. Like you have to give them a little bit of grace because I know that maybe you went through this the first time when you were 18 and they're doing this at like 25.
Right.
But it's like, don't be
flippant about
Don't be flippant about this. It hurts him.
Yeah.
He's clearly in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Help him out as opposed to just like, and it's not like the person's not trying to help. I just mean like more like have a little bit more like compassion a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're going through it and
like something that seems obvious.
Yeah.
Like when like your friends is like, oh, it's obvious you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't be texting
But
them
it's
all
like
the time.
when you're in that space and you have that mindset, this is all you know.
Yeah. And like him thinking, oh, like I got to get a bunch of rebounds, like swiping on Tinder. That's going to help me. It's going to help me. It's like, no, it's not. Like, you know that from experience that like, that's a way to like fill the void emptily. Like it's not going to fill the void. It's like, it's just pushing your thoughts back or whatever.
Yeah.
But this person doesn't know that yet. So they do need to like come to learn that. It's not something that they just understand off the get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because it's happened to them later in life doesn't make it any less like real to them.
Right.
And I've been trying to think about that recently a lot also, just be like, just because things happen to you later in life doesn't mean we were talking about like our string thing.
Yeah.
Like the path of where.
Yeah, exactly
like,
where you're going.
Just because if things happen to you later in life, like that might happen to somebody earlier, it doesn't make it less valid or make it less impactful or anything like that. And it's just like everybody's life goes on at the same pace. Somebody might have a life experience really young that you might not have until you're 30. Like
totally.
People might not like experience going to a funeral of a loved one until they're like mid 20s.
I know.
And like my family, we had like funerals like starting at age 8 through like 20, like all the time. So it's like losing somebody, grief is something that somebody might not have to experience until a different time.
Yeah.
So it's like circling back, I agree with you. I think it's really weird when people kind of, it is older people, look at somebody younger than them or their age and they're flippant about their experience because they're like, well, you should know this by now. Or you should be up to date about this by now.
Right.
It's like, you don't know what their life has been like.
And on just like the similar experience, I was like, this is kind of how it came up was I was like, when you have a baby, you have such a range in a day, you know, like they experience extreme emotions because like that's all they kind of know. And sometimes I could generally see people being like, she's okay. Like she's okay.
Right.
And it's like, no, she's actually like not okay. She's crying because she's upset because she's experiencing something. Yeah. And I'm not just going to
ignore that.
Be like, it's actually, I know that it doesn't matter, but it matters to her. Yeah. So it's so interesting. You do it on such a small scale. Like I can see parents, I can see people kind of reference Waylon as being like, oh, like she's okay. Like that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Like she'll get over it. And it's just like, I feel like people do that constantly as you're kind of growing up. You know, I always felt like that, like walking into a restaurant of like, can't wait till someone takes me seriously when I say there's 4 people here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's always this like level from a like older people down of like what you're experiencing isn't valid because I can see the bigger picture. Right. But it's like, shouldn't we, and this goes back to just like parenting in general. It's like, it changes. Like I don't need to always like validate somebody's feelings of like, you stubbed your toe and you could be upset the entire day. It just means like you're seeing somebody experience something, like acknowledge it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Acknowledge whatever they're feeling and like give perspective. Like you don't need to diminish their experience because you know more. Yeah. You know?
I totally agree. And I'd seen something recently where it was like parents talking to their kids when they're having like a tantrum or something like that.
I feel like we didn't even start the timer for this.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. Yeah. Where parents started having the tantrum, a kid's having a tantrum, and the parents, instead of like trying to hush them up, instead being like, all right, you're having a lot of big feelings right now. What are the feelings you're feeling? Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, if you're like, on paper, that can almost sound like stupid, like you're babying them. Like, what's the point of that? Like
gentle parenting,
blah, blah. You're raising a wuss. You're raising a beta generation.
Yeah.
But it's like, if this kid is throwing a tantrum and you ask them, okay, like, hey, what's the big feelings you're feeling? What are you feeling?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm upset. Like, well, what are you upset about? Are you upset angry or are you upset sad?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm upset angry or I'm upset sad. Well, then now you can figure out how to work through those feelings.
Yeah.
If you're upset sad, what are you upset sad about?
Yeah.
Is that something that
it helps people start to identify what's hurting them
and
like
also
naming things
and how to process, and for them also, for kids to be able to, like, because what we're saying, everything feels so big. But if the kid is upset that, you know, they didn't get the fruit punch Capri Sun, and they're throwing a tantrum, you'd be like, hey, we've got fruit punch at home. They're like, oh, okay. Well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
It helps them process their emotions
instead of just being that doesn't matter. You're going to have someone later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just have them have them go through the steps of it, because people being told how they're supposed to feel about something, I feel like that's never good.
No.
Like nobody being told how to feel about something, you're never are going to accept those feelings. You're never going to be like, oh, you're right. I should feel this. I am being stupid.
Yeah.
You're right.
I should get over it.
You're right. I am overreacting.
This is so pointless.
Thank God you told me to relax.
I know.
Like
I know.
Nobody's going to get that. If you validate what's going on with them and you're like, hey, like, I know you're upset. What do you think is at the root of this issue here?
Yeah.
Like, is it this? Like, oh no, it's this. Oh, well, we can solve it by this. And it's like, oh, okay, you know what? Makes you feel a lot better. You're right.
Yeah.
And like, if you allow people to kind of work through it, and kids to work through it themselves, like, it feels like they mostly like accomplish something.
Yeah.
Instead of being told something.
Yeah.
Like, and having their experience diminished and feeling like they're unseen and unheard.
Yeah. And it's also like interesting too. I try to like, you want to like tell kids what's happening around them and like what's going to happen in their day, because then you're just kind of like dragging them place to place. Like, I always try to like be like, oh God, hey, like this is what we're doing, and like I'm leaving for this amount of time, and like I'm gonna be home, and like this is what's gonna happen tonight, and like this is what you did today. And like when you talk through their day with them, it's so interesting to see how much kind of joy like she gets out of that. Like sometimes I'll be telling her about her experience and she'll be like, more like she wants to know like what happened. Like she gets her information from like hearing it back. It's so interesting. And then another thing I've been experiencing with parenting, I don't know if I've said this on the pod or just to you in general or to anyone or to my mind, you know, it's like I can't tell who I'm talking to anymore. I find this thing, we were talking about it with, maybe we talked about this, but like I find it so interesting having to be the one to calm the ship. Like it's such an interesting, because as somebody who's now like aware of my feelings in such a new way, and like obviously monitoring myself in such a way, and babies can go from best day to worst day in an instant, right? Like so quick.
So can people. So can adults.
Yeah. Like they feel like very like they're so happy, and then all of a sudden they're really, really upset. And because like mothers, and I'm sure fathers too, but in my experience, I'm just with her every second of the day.
Right.
When she gets up to like I'm now experiencing the worst part of her day, she can come down pretty easily, just like based on talking to me.
That's really good.
Right? But I'm not down. Like I'm still riled up from her experience, because like I'm so tied to her emotional state that it's quite interesting, because I'm like, oh my God, well, like now I'm here, but I have to be here. Like I have to be the steady ship. Like I have to be like when she's reacting, like I also can't react in these moments, you know, like not that I can't have a reaction, but like she's looking to me to be the steadiness in the room. Yeah. And so it's interesting. It like taking on such a different role as like she grows up, and like being the person now that's like has to settle yourself, because when you grow up like and you don't necessarily have the ability to settle yourself, like right before I used alcohol, would like use TV shows, I would distract myself constantly, use the internet. I wasn't able to like naturally flow myself up and down, or you lash out at somebody that didn't deserve it. Totally. Yeah. Like I had no kind of like I didn't know I didn't have the ability to like level out.
Right.
I used other things to level myself out.
Right.
And so now I'm in such a situation where like I have to be able to navigate my own emotions and level yourself out. And it's so interesting. And again, I feel like in my case specifically, it's like becoming a parent just like literally blasts you into the best version of yourself. It must. Like in order to do the job that you want to do, you have to be the best version of yourself. And it's just like such an extreme way of living. Like it's so interesting all the time.
I think it's really interesting, especially your perspective on it. And like I do want to like commend you on it, because I don't think that I think a lot of people are aware of that fact in the way that you are. Like I don't think a lot of people think, or at least maybe older generations didn't think about this as much. I don't think, because like I think that a lot of like you're saying, one, to be the steady ship, especially when she gets older as well. Yeah. And it's like a lot of times, like if you come from like a combative family where like there's a lot of arguing, like the parent isn't steadying the ship,
right?
And it's like you're just escalating, and
never
escalating.
Feels safe.
And then maybe the kid has to be the
calm water.
Yeah. And that's when like a lot of like parenting therapy books and just other therapy books, therapists talk about like middle child syndrome, where like a lot of times the middle children in a combative family have to like often take on like the role of referee and like the calmer or whatever, making sure everyone's okay, distracting, blah blah.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really interesting, because I think that you being aware of this sets not just you up in parenthood,
right,
but way up in childhood and adulthood.
Yeah.
Way more. Because there are plenty of parents that don't think about how processing their kids' emotions, how
you almost have to process for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And then explain it back to them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because you can't get your own body yet settled.
Yes.
Like you don't have that. I don't personally have that ability to instantly soothe myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning how to self-soothe. A lot of people talk about like self-soothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how to self-soothe. How does my baby know how?
Have you ever caught yourself doing things that self-soothe? Like
always. It's always outside. Right?
What are some things that you do?
Listen to Harry Potter.
But you don't have any like physical attributes?
Oh yeah. Touch my elbow.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I rub my feet together like a cricket, and my sister was like my sister saw me doing that. She's like, "You're self-soothing right now." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I do the same thing. I rub my feet together."
Oh, she does her feet.
And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy." Our dad does the same thing.
Oh.
And
Waylon will. What's interesting is no one touches elbows in my family, but Waylon has started to like put her hands on my elbow, really, and I'm like, did I somehow pass this down? Because like, no, I'm even embarrassed to even put this myself on blast like that. Yeah, like I've never met anyone else that like grabs an elbow. Yeah, for calm.
But it like, do you just grab both elbows or just
no? I would like. So I grew up.
Is it because you're holding yourself?
No, I grew up and I would pinch people's elbows. Like I'd go like this. Like I'd do this to my mom. Yeah. Just as like a comfort thing. Like we'd be walking places, I would go like this. Yeah. And I'd be like, "Dad, don't touch my elbow." And I was like, I don't want to touch my own elbows. But eventually, people were like, "Stop touching my elbows." So I was like, I guess I have to touch my own elbows. Yeah. So like, it's not necessarily like a hug. Like it's just like the way I would sit and touch my own elbow is comfortable, because that's what I did when I was like a little kid, almost like sucking your thumb. Yeah. It's like that's what I would do, and it's so weird. Like I'm never, not that I like walk around being like, "Yo, anyone touch their elbows for some comfort?" Yeah. But she does it like when she's almost falling asleep, and I'm like, how is this possible? Yeah. Like how is she? Am I so aware of my elbow being touched? Like maybe she's just randomly touching my elbow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she just will do it too. But we'll see.
But it's good that you're. It's like really impressive that you're figuring out the you can't get riled up thing too, because like my family argued a lot when we were kids, and like when your parent gets like vocal too like that, it's like everybody just gets like it's just a contest of who can get louder.
Well, it's like copy paste. Like you're gonna do what you see.
Absolutely. And so like you trying to break that. I'm not saying that you have that cycle, but it's just like trying to make sure that Wei has the tools to like process her own emotions, so that like she isn't like escalating. And like isn't running to patterns.
Even escalating. It's like we're so distracted.
Yeah.
We're constantly feeling something and saying, I want to feel something else right now. Yeah. I don't want to feel this. Like, what can I do? What can I watch? What can I eat? What can I drink? What can I listen to that's going to distract me from what I'm uncomfortable feeling?
Exactly.
And so like now we have so many things to distract us. We can literally do anything we want besides focus on what we should. Yeah. And it just is gonna. It's more and more and more and more and more. Like
Yeah.
we're only gonna get more ways to distract ourselves.
Yeah, I think that is it's the phones are a terrible thing, especially when you're upset. Like you're just like, okay, well I can just scroll.
Oh my god.
I can just I'm upset. Let me just not
Instant
feel this right now,
distraction.
and let me just I'm on the verge of tears. Let me just pull up TikTok.
No, yeah,
I'll find some funny puppy videos to watch.
I know.
It'll make me feel better.
I know.
It's crazy.
It is.
There was something that came up this weekend of, I forget which. I think it was Meta and Instagram or Facebook. Meta, Facebook, Instagram are like saying that they're going to put like bot accounts on there or something like that.
Ew.
So like there will be like AI like fake people like,
Why?
on the like on these platforms.
Seems so weird.
And that makes it feel like it's like even weirder because like all right now you're not even interacting. Like already the concern was you're not interacting with real people. Sometimes with bots, no matter what.
Like putting like hate on people's pages already.
And with like disinformation and like stuff like that being like just circulating and just having people that aren't real saying something to trigger other people. But like why doing it like purposefully, like almost like no, we're gonna do it is like so strange because it's like then you're really changing the environment of where people are like gathering online to discuss things. That's like putting it really like a bow on like a comment section.
Yeah.
But like it's so strange to like manufacture that. Like manufacture people's discussion in that way.
Almost like creating the discussion and forming the narrative.
Yeah. And like
like it's putting thoughts that aren't your own into your brain to make you think something.
Exactly.
Right.
And like
I know.
I think it was called like dead internet theory for a while, where it's like the majority of people you see online aren't even real people or whatever. And it's just like why then contribute to that by like purposefully. Is it for it has to be for engagement. Like everything's about engagement.
But
so
the thing is,
they
like,
want people to engage
we don't need
with
more
bots.
engagement. Why do they want? Like,
well,
we're all engaging.
Yeah, but
far too much.
The companies want. There's never enough. The companies are always going to want more engagement until you're living Wall-E and you're in a sedentary looking at a screen 24/7 like Generation Beta will be.
I love that our all of our conversations end up back to the same place.
Yeah, they really do.
We're like, yeah, football, and then we're just gonna be sitting still.
You and I always get back to, well, we just gotta go back to flip phones, or the world's doomed.
I know. And then Alex is like, I'm addicted to Twitter.
Yeah. It's like I want to put it down, but I can't. I can't do it.
I know.
It really is. It's so tough. I want to put it down, but I can't. I was thinking about it all the time. I was like, I need to get a flip phone.
I'm like, watch me, bitch.
Yeah.
I made it into 2025 without looking.
That's crazy.
Try it.
No, I can't.
Okay, well, meet us in the bonus. Can you do that?
Yeah, meet us in the bonus. We're going to talk about cueing the music, which I got to be honest, this is going to be a controversial take, and people are going to either be on my side or
where will I stand?
I think you'll be on my side.
Damn it.
I think you'll be on my side because what I have to say, I feel like is so crazy that it's like, I feel like
crazy it just might work.
It's so crazy it just might work, and if you're not on my side, you're a buffoon.
Oh, okay.
A fool.
But sometimes I like to be buffoonable.
Absolutely. Is there anything else sleeping on New Year's? We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got
Older generation, no big moments. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.